What's up everyone, Jared the Toy Bro here, back again for another Star Wars Black Series review, and today we are wrapping up Wave 2 of the recent era of Black Series figures since Force Friday 2. So this is the Elite Praetorian Guard. He is in the wave with General Leia, Maz, and so on. He comes in a standard box. We've got him down here with a little bit of artwork showing this particular guard, because as we've seen there are different guards. We have got his number, he is 50. A little bit of a write-up on what these guys are all about, very little, and the name on the side. So let's pull him out and take a closer look. Alright, so here is our Elite Praetorian Guard out of his box, and I'm not going to do a great deal going into articulation and paint, a little bit on sculpt, because this guy is almost identical to the guard I did recently. So check out the Guard 4-pack, the Guards of Evil 4-pack review that I did, because it includes a Praetorian Guard, and that figure is almost identical to this guy. We'll go over differences and so on, but he has the same articulation as that figure. They are the same base figure as well, as far as I can tell, with a few noticeable differences, and then paint apps are basically the same, although there is one slight difference, and it's not a difference, just more of a difference in terms of how paint was applied, not really that it's a different spot or different color or anything like that. So this guy, I'm gonna go over articulation for one point, and that are the elbows. I mentioned this in the previous review for the other guard. The elbows on this guy are just pretty rough, and it all comes down to the sculpt and how these kind of scale plates have to be put on this figure. So I understand why it's this way, but it is really tough. So he does have about 90-degree bend in that in those arms. This particular plate right here, the one I'm touching right here, is softer, gummier plastic than the rest. The rest is a hard sculpt, and this is kind of a flexible material that will bend and move because it sits on the joint. But it doesn't really, make things 100% perfect, and it is only a single jointed elbow. But just be aware that if you want to get him to have any kind of real bend, kind of pull pretty hard, and it will tuck this particular scale inside the one above it, and it helps a little bit. It's still not perfect, but that's what we got. So as far as the figure itself goes, I think they have a cool design. I really like the way they look. This guy is different from the other guard that I have, and there is yet another coming in an Amazon exclusive. I'll go over comparisons in a second. This guy has kind of a halberd type weapon, so it's a two-handed bladed weapon with a long red and silver shaft, and then it's got a silver painted blade here. And then, just like I pointed out in the other review, this little nub right here, as far as I know, and from what I've seen in other media and other toys, specifically Lego Build-A-Figures, this is a lightsaber emitter. So that kind of points to these guys having their moment to actually maybe fight Rey or fight Luke, or I don't know, do something cool. The big difference for me with this figure is the lack of soft goods, which is not a negative. And then this guy has a different head sculpt than the guard we got in the 4-pack. And the guard in the Amazon pack is a different head sculpt as well. So the best and most clear image that I've seen of these guys shows 5 of them with Snoke. 2 of them look like this, but they have different weapons. 2 of them look like the Amazon guard with have different weapons. And then 1 of them is the guard from the 4-pack. I've also seen that I've also read something that says there are 8 of these guards, so I don't know what to go by, but that picture that I've seen floating around out there is the best indication of what actually we get with these guys. Like I said, there are no soft goods. It's 4 pieces of kind of a rubbery plastic. It is textured, so it looks like fabric, and honestly, I prefer this over the soft goods we got on the other guard. I think this looks a little more consistent. I think the soft goods on the previous guard are they're kind of lackluster, and they're kind of lacking in substance. And then this guy has a very different helmet from the guard in the 4-pack. He's got kind of a full visor going on here with just a dome on the helmet, whereas the other guard had, I don't even know how to describe it. He's got like a big plate on his head is what it looks like. But I do think he looks really cool. This one, of the 2 that I have so far, I think he is the one that I like the most. And it just comes down to the fact that his look is more consistent with the use of plastic through and through. All right, now here are the 2 guards that are readily available well, maybe not readily available, but available in the US at least. The Amazon guard has somehow managed to surface in the UK, which I don't fully understand that just yet. But you can tell the difference here right off the bat, the big one, and it just really bothers me that there is no consistency between these two figures. I don't understand why this guy has soft goods and this one doesn't. I don't, like I said, I don't prefer it, and it's my personal preference. It's not terrible, but if they all had soft goods, I'd be just fine with it, but they don't. So that's the weird thing for me. This guy obviously has a different weapon. He's got the combinable dual-bladed weapon. And then, of course, they have those different heads. So this guy's, I don't even know how to describe this thing. He's got like a big plate on the top of his helmet. But the helmet design itself is still different. He's got like a chin on his helmet, whereas this guy is just kind of a straight up and down look. I think they look good together, don't get me wrong. But I do, at the end of the day, just prefer this guy in general to this one. So overall, I am happy with this guard. I'm really looking forward to getting the Amazon exclusive to have a little grouping of guards. I've got two of this particular guard, the single carded one, and then I've got the 4-pack guard, obviously. So I'm really looking forward to getting that other one. Really looking forward to getting my hands on Snoke to put them all together and have that whole little setup going. But I think overall this is a pretty decent figure. He is limited in terms of that elbow articulation, but at the end of the day, if you're going to have them posed standing somewhere, just holding their weapons, they're going to look really badass, really intimidating, and ultimately I think that's the end goal for these figures. So that is going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Elite Praetorian Guard from Hasbro. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time, everyone.